So welcome to the first session of 3D Printing 101. Today we're going to go over Fusion 360 and kind of like basics of that. So if you've taken a look already at the zip file, we're going to be designing this robot toy kind of thing with a box and four wheels. And yeah, so about that zip file, you should have received it either yesterday or on Monday, and in it should be a few things. A PDF with some instructions. There's the reference STL files. The one thing we're going to use for this session is just the ICRS 101 logo. So yeah, just make sure you have that downloaded. So yeah, so we sent in the zip file. There's a user interface PDF. We're just gonna go over kind of the most important ones here. So if you have Fusion open up, you'll see that along the top there's different tabs. There's solid, surface, sheet metal, tools. We're gonna be primarily using the solids tab and all the wonderful tools up here. And if you go into the create tab, you can see like some more tools. We're gonna be using box, cylinder, torus down here later today. To navigate around your design, you can use the view cube, which is this guy up in the top right. You can kind of drag it around. Which side do I want to look at? If I want to look at the top view, you can click on the top. If you wanted to look on one of the side views, you can do that as well. If you wanted to go back to the, you can click the home button up here. You can also use icons along the bottom. So orbit, there's pan, and then there's also zoom, kind of drag in, drag out. And there's a bunch of other shortcuts that you can find on, we're not going to be going through them today, mostly because there's just too many. But if you Google Fusion 60 shortcuts, you can probably find a lot of them. And so we're going to be going through several different tools today. We're going to make a box. We're going to make a torus. We're going to make a cylinder. We're going to fillet, chamfer the box. We're going to extrude things. We're going to sketch things. We're going to learn how to move and copy objects as well. And so this is kind of split into different sections today's session. And the main body is the box. We're going to fill it, and then we're going to chamfer along the bottom the box. We're going to add a compartment, a torus as a hook hole ring. We're going to add some custom text. We're going to draw some face on the front, something creative. Import an SEO, and then learn how to extrude that as well. And add four wheels. So before we kind of like get on with that, just if at any point you feel we're going too fast, just send a message into the chat and we'll try. So, yeah. So I hope you guys have Fusion 360 open and ready to go, because we're gonna go into our new project. And the first thing that we're gonna do actually is turn on capture design history. So I can do that here. Right click in the browser. There's a top level object here, right? You right click that and select capture design history. So make sure you do that. And what that does, it like has a little timeline along the bottom. So as we make more edits, you can kind of see each individual step, and you can kind of go back to them if you want and reference those. Yeah. So I guess you can take some time to open up Fusion if you haven't already.
Okay, so now that hopefully everyone has Fusion open, we're going to start creating robots. So we are going to start by creating the box, which is going to act as the main body for our robot. And we are going to do the draw box tool. So you go to solid, go down to create, and then select the box option. And that should enable you to draw a solid box. Yep, so click the option. And the next thing Fusion will ask you to do is select the face you want to draw on. So in this case, we'll be drawing on the XY plane first. So select that plane. And you now need to give Fusion the dimensions of the rectangle to draw. So you can do this either by moving your cursor or you can type the value in. And when you are doing that, you can use tab to switch between the two values. Yep, so the dimensions we need is 50 millimeters by 100 millimeters. Okay, so hopefully everyone has a box ready. Has a rectangle ready. So now we are going to add a height to the box. So to do this, you can either drag the blue arrow or you can type in the heights like what you've done before. And the height that we need is 50 millimeters. Okay, so the next step is to fillet and chamfer the box. So the tool that we are going to use first is the fillet option. And you can find this also under the solid tab, but it's under modify this time. So you go to modify, go down and select fillet. So now we are going to add a fillet to the box. So you need to select the top face, which you do by selecting on that face, and then you add a 5 millimeter chamfer. Yep, so after you've typed in 5 millimeters, you should be able to see the chamfers. Cool, so next we are going to use the chamfer tool on the underside of the box. And so chamfer is in pretty much the same place as fillet. So first of all, you need to select.
Oh no, hold on. I think my Autodesk just failed.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll just reopen it up. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just take a moment for me to reopen that up.
Yeah, a note about Fusion is that it does take up a lot of processing power on your computer. So sometimes that does get a little bit troublesome.
I think I might know what just happened. All right. Yeah. All right, we should be good to go. Okay. All right, we're back in order now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep,
What were
brilliant.
we last talking about? The chamfer, right?
Yep. So now we're onto the chamfer tool. It's in pretty much the
Chamfer,
same place as fillet. So you go to modify and go down to select chamfer. Okay, so now you need to select the 4 edges of the underside of the robot. So first of all, you need to find how to like navigate to the underside, and there are of course multiple ways to do this. For example, by moving the view cube. Yeah, alternatively, you could also use the orbit option, which basically revolves your object around a particular like line or face, and that's also quite useful. So now that you are in a position where you can see all 4 edges, you need to select all of them. And in Fusion, the key is Shift. So while you are selecting all the edges, make sure that you press the Shift down when you are selecting each new edge. And now we are going to add a 5mm chamfer to these 4 edges. Yeah, press OK after you're done. Cool. So next, we are brilliant. Okay, next we are going to add a compartment to your robot. And to add the compartment, we are going to do this by first sketching a rectangle and then using the extrude tool. So to create the rectangle, you go to solid and then click on the sketch icon. After this, you'll need to select which face you want to sketch on. So in our case, it is like this face over here. So you click on the face and it should go into the sketch mode. So we are going to draw a rectangle, in particular the 2-point rectangle. So select the tool on the top and then draw the rectangle on the top half of the face. Once again, use tab to navigate between the 2 dimensions if you need to. Okay, so once you are done, click on Finish Sketch and it should return to the previous view. Yeah, so now we're going to use the Extrude tool. And what the Extrude tool does is that from any 2D object, it creates a prism of that object. So you can either extrude outwards or inwards. In this case, we are going to extrude inwards. And so we are going to click on the rectangle that we just drew and make sure you select the extrude tool. Okay, so now you need to enter the height to extrude it by. In this case, since we're extruding inwards, we're going to type -50mm. Alternatively, you could also use the blue arrow shown. Click OK when done. So after you've done that step, the next thing we are going to do is add a hook hole to the robot. So the shape of this hook hole is going to be a torus, so we are going to use the torus option. So first you need to navigate to the top view, which you can do quite easily using a view cube. go to Solid, click on Create, and there should be a torus tool. Yeah, so now we need to draw the torus and also enter the dimensions of the torus. So there are two dimensions you need. The first is the inner diameter and also the diameter. So in this case, it's going to be 30 millimeters for the inner diameter. And the other is going to be 5 millimeters. Brilliant. Press OK when you're done. And now we are going to move the hook hole. So when you are doing this step, it's better to use the corner view, because if you are viewing it perpendicular to any one of the axes, it's easy. You can do something without realizing you've done it. So what you need to do is right click on the torus and select the Move Copy option. Cool, so that produces 3 axes that you can use to move the torus. So we are now going to use these to move the torus until it's partially inside the box. Like we realize that you've probably drawn the torus in all kinds of different locations, so we are not going to specify the dimensions to move the torus. However, if you've been drawing it in a plane, then please do move it up by 50 millimeters. Now that is done, you need to move the torus inwards and just select like any distance when the torus is partially inside the box. Click OK when done. Great. So the next step Walter, my screen seems to have frozen.
No, I think we should. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Next
cool. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to add text on the side. In this example, you can see that we've added Hello ICRS 101, but of course you can be as creative as you like with this. So to add the text, you need to go to the Create Sketch tool as before, which you can find under the Solid tab. And you need to select the face of the box that you are going to draw on. So in this case, it is this face. Yeah, so now go to the text option. So it's also under the create option, and the text option should allow you to type the text that you need. So you need to specify the text position on the face. So make sure you click to the left side to ensure everything fits. Yeah, and now that you
I think
very weird.
it's a little different from what I was planning to. Yeah, it's asking for 2 points this time around. So you can still type in your sample text here, like ICS high, and in this case we're gonna have to use this
rotate it
to
by
like
90 degrees.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you can type it in. Yeah, So
You can
type in
also
any
change
text.
the font and
Yeah.
bold, that kind of stuff.
So now that you have the text ready, click OK. All right, so now what we are going to do is, first of all, click Finish Sketch to go back to the main view. And now we are going to extrude the text on side inwards. So make sure you select the text first before you select the extrude tool. So click on the text first, make sure it's highlighted. And then under the create option, go to the extrude tool. And in this case, we're also extruding inwards. And we are going to use -3 millimeters. Yeah, so type in the value you need and hit OK. Yeah, you should see that now the text has been like indented inwards. Cool. So next, we're going to take a break now. So congratulations, everyone. You've come to the end of the first part of this session. So we are going to take a 10-minute break now. We are going to resume at what time is it in Britain? 2:06. And of course,
And
if
in
you have
meantime, and I see Matilda, you're holding your hand up. Well, you gotta. You can just turn on your microphone, I guess, if you have a question for now. Yeah. Yeah, you can, or you can send
alternatively, you
them in
could
the chat.
also
Either is fine.
send them into the chat.
Um,
Meanwhile,
Just a
wait,
Hello.
sorry, yeah.
yeah, so basically I see you guys recording. Because I was a bit late, sorry for that. So are you gonna like post the recording on
Yes, we are. We're gonna post a recording, and
right.
Meanwhile, you can also look in the zip file.
Yeah,
Because
there's
there are instructions.
of everything. So someone asked, you don't see the sketch option. Sketch option should be if you go under the solids tab and then the create sketch tools right here.
Yeah, so after you click create sketch, it should ask you which face you want to create the sketch on.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just select the face you need, and the rest should be like in 2D, so it should be fairly easy to handle.
After you've made something
okay.
like a box, how do you adjust the dimensions? Well,
I guess you could always extrude it back to the dimensions that you need, or you can just go back.
That's not very. That's a bit ham-fisted. I mean, we can kind of just demo it on this plane. Oh, okay. Well, not. Hold on. We pick this one. Do you mean like after you're at this stage, you can? Yeah, like they're also here. They're not like locked into place. You'll hit the OK button, and even then, you can always just undo it. You could also click on the box in the timeline. If you click on the box in the timeline, it goes back to when you're still adjusting the dimensions, and then you can change it like that. So we can actually get rid of that box. There we go. Okay, so David is asking, after extruding the text inwards, some of the faces of your box became transparent. Let's see. Are you extruding in the text too much? If
What do you mean by became transparent?
interact with.
I think what could have happened is after you extrude it inwards, like it automatically selects all the relevant lines of the extruded text. So possibly that's what you're referring to. But yeah, a screenshot will be very helpful.
Test it out. We can. Well, I mean, it. Oh, actually, if it goes all, yeah, I'm not. Oh, okay. Let's see. That's
Okay,
weird.
that's bizarre.
All right. Maybe try rotating to a different angle. If you rotate to a different angle, is it still like that weird?
Happened with me, but maybe it's because you didn't define the dimensions, or
That's weird. It's not happening on here or any of the other times I tried doing it. So it's
maybe it's like with the internet connection. If somebody is using the remote desktop, as I do.
Oh, are you using the
Um,
remote desktop to use Fusion? Oh,
That
okay.
is possible.
I guess. Although I feel like that still shouldn't happen, right? Hmm. I guess we could always try to Google it, like Fusion, what Fusion? Yeah, I mean, let me just try to see, like, because yeah, it is weird. Although I guess if like you can still navigate around the box, still be able to edit it, like hopefully it still should be okay-ish. Yeah, rendering problem, probably. Yeah. How can I make sure the rectangle that I drew when creating the sketch is in the middle of the side surface of the box?
It should
I guess.
automatically snap to the
Well,
origin, if that's what you mean.
oh, I think they mean the compartment.
Or,
Yeah, that's
okay.
a fair question. Let
Uh-huh.
me, if I were to like just draw on this side, I'll delete it afterwards.
Yeah. In my case, it
it
just suggests it automatically.
well, I mean, yeah, it's automatically center it. Like you can, I think you can use this tool. Just create something that's not in the center, right? And if I wanted to center it, does that? Okay. Wait? What if I did? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think this tool, and then I select the center, right? And then if I like go towards the middle, and then any rectangle I draw is going to be centered around the middle point, so you can kind of more accurately determine, hey, where's the middle? I think that's one way to roughly do it, although I realize it's still not exactly in the middle. Let's see. I guess it's this most likely a better way to do it that I'm not enlightening myself with, but I'm sure if you tried Googling it perhaps could Yeah, but yeah, roughly, I guess halfway here. I'll just delete what I drew really fast. Okay.
Okay. Actually, shall we extend the break by 5 more minutes?
Yeah, we can wait a few more minutes. We're
Cool.
gonna wait until, well, what time is it in the UK now?
10 past.
Like,
Yeah, we'll restart at
oh,
10
yeah, we
past.
can wait until, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like 2 p.m. in London, something like that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you haven't joined the Slack channel already, you might want to do it right now.
Oh, that's
So,
right. Yeah.
yeah, just go to the link here. And we also have a special channel for the Printing 101 participants.
Oh, yeah. Ignore that. All right, so it's 10 past, I think. We should kind of get going with the second part of our first session. So as I kind of overviewed earlier, this next step is we're going to be creating a face on the last square shaped side of the box side. So it's kind of similar to what we were doing before, just kind of best to navigate to this side. Click the create sketch tool, and we're going to select this face. It should be highlighted, highlighted white. So we click that. And this part is where I'm gonna ask you guys to have a little bit of fun with. So we're gonna draw a face, like just any old face, kind of like making your own jack-o'-lantern, right? We're gonna draw a face, and then once we're done, we're gonna extrude it inwards to kind of like carve it out almost. Yeah, if we're gonna go with the Halloween metaphor. So you can draw an eye using the 2-point rectangle. You can use a circle tool to draw another eye if you wanted. You can use a line to, I don't know, make a nose. You could use the fit point spline to kind of make a curve shaped mouth or what have you. And yeah, just take some time with this. Explore these tools. There's a bunch here, and then once you're finished, you can click the finish sketch button. And you can see our creation right here. Yeah, take some time with it. How did I make a triangle? All right, so just go back in the sketch mode. You can use the line here, 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, and then you can go back to the original first point. So you like kind of just draw like the 3 points and then go back to the original place. There's also a polygon tool here, which I haven't really used, but I think you can use it to like kind of make pentagons or hexagons, that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, so hopefully you guys have nice fun shapes and whatnot, and I've finished the sketch. So for the select each individual drawing that we've like shape that we've made, select each one. So hold the shift key down, and I'm gonna select my 2 eyes. Hold the shift key down, select the nose, hold the shift key down, select this mouth. So once that's done, the entire like inside of the drawing should be highlighted blue. And then we can turn on the extrude tool. And then we kind of extrude it inwards if we want, or outwards, I guess, but we're going to extrude it inwards today. So extrude it inwards, -3 millimeters. Though I suppose if you really wanted to, you could always extrude it outwards. And once we're done with that, you can click OK. And if I'm to kind of orbit around what we just made, it should look like that. You can kind of see it's carved inwards face.
Wait, can you show how did you extrude how's it extrude inwards again?
Oh yeah, let me just
Like the arrow.
let me demo that. So extrude tool,
Yeah.
and then there's a blue arrow that should pop up on here, but you can also click on in the menu that shows up. There's a distance tab here. You can
Use like the negative one. Or
you can always just type in here directly, or you can just drag anywheres up. It's the blue arrow. There's fine, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so just all right, so once we finished our face, we're gonna import an SVG file. Today we're gonna import the 101 and put it on our remaining side here. So we're gonna create a sketch once again, but we're gonna create the sketch on this last side. So let's create the sketch, highlight over this last side. It should be highlighted in white. So we click that, and it goes into sketch mode, and we can insert sketch tab all the way over here, insert an SVG file. So you can click that. And if we click here, there's an option to select the SVG file. So it's going to open up my files. Yeah, files, downloads files. And then if you navigate to your OpenZip file, there's the 101 logo is the SVG file in the folder. So this is the 101 logo, and then we can open it. So I'll wait for you guys to do that. All right. So once we've imported it in, you can see these options to like move it around. So first it's going to be pretty large, right? So we're going to have to scale it down, right? So these tools can move it up or down or left and right. We're going to use this tool, this little curve, kind of scale it inwards or outwards. We're going to make it so it fits onto the actual body, right? So once you scale it down, we'll just drag it until it's somewhere on here. Like here seems like a good spot. And then we click OK when we're done. And then we can click finish sketch. Yeah, I like that. All right, so we're gonna extrude inwards our logo. So this requires us to kind of zoom in because we have to select some of the smaller things on here. So you can use the zoom tool along the bottom here, and then you can kind of drag outwards or inwards. We're going to drag a bit more inwards. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then we're going to select shift each individual portion here. The same way that we did with our like custom face. We're gonna shift select this shape here, ears. We may have to zoom in a bit more. Yeah. Shift select the eyes, the numbers, and then the shape at the bottom. So I think you have to zoom in a bit a lot for this. So just the zoom tool, zoom. And then, yeah. And then once you've done that, we're going to use the extrude tool here again. And we're gonna, if I go into a different angle, you can kind of see what I'm doing here now. I guess I could extrude it outwards or inwards, whatever is your choice. We're gonna extrude it by 3 millimeters inwards again. You could always make it go outwards, I guess, but we're just gonna go inwards. Yeah. So there we go. So we're gonna move on to sorry, the last stage of our build process. So we're gonna add the 4 wheels on either side of the robot. So this is gonna be a bit frustrating potentially. So I guess just bear with me here. So to make our wheel, we're gonna go with the rudimentary wheel today. So just a cylinder. So if you go into the solids tab, create, click the cylinder. It's right underneath the box tool that we used at the start today. And then we're just gonna select the XY plane down here. And I think it might be useful to go onto a top view for this. So you can kind of see the XY plane that you're gonna be drawing on. So we're just gonna draw a circle of, we're gonna select the radius, sorry, the diameter of the circle, 20 millimeter diameter. And let's give it a height. You can give it a 5. Oh, it's still selecting the diameter. Oops. Yeah, just give it a height here. 5 millimeter height is fine. Sorry, not 5 millimeter. That was. You want to go with 20 and then 10 millimeter height. Yeah. 20 millimeter diameter, 10 millimeter height on, yeah, on the XY plane here. All right, so next we're going to use the move copy tool and we're going to kind of rotate the circle. Oh, sorry, not the circle, rotate the cylinder. So to do that, let's, oh my, yeah, we'll just the orbit tool to get back into place. Press the escape key to go back to normal mode. All right, move copy tool is in the solids tab. It's on near the middle of it, and then you can select our cylinder. So there's a bunch of tools here, arrows here that you might seem familiar. You can move up, down, left, right. We're gonna use this one first. So rotate it 90 degrees. We're just gonna rotate it 90 degrees like here. You can also use the number box here to kind of manually select it and then click out. Actually, we're just gonna, just rotate it 90 degrees. And then this next step is we're gonna move it so it's actually basically now we're attaching it onto the robot. So we can select this inwards arrow, we can drag it so it's inside. You can go into a top view like here, for example, and kind of see, oh, it's inwards, yep. And then you can go to a different side view perhaps. Oh, it's not high, low enough, right? So you can drag it until it's lower, and then yeah, there we go. And click OK when we're done with that, and we have our first build finished. All right, so now we're going to make our second wheel. So we're not gonna repeat the process of making the cylinder and then moving it in place. We can just take our first cylinder here and then copy it and then just slide it over to the other end. So we're gonna use our friend move copy tool. Select the cylinder, should be highlighted in white. Create copy right here, and then now where did the copy go? Well, it's right on top of the original cylinder, so we can just immediately slide it over with the arrow tool. So yeah, so move copy, select the wheel, and then click the create copy option, and move it over in place. This question, let's see. Let's see, you've got a question. When I select my cylinder. Oh, I think you should select the move copy tool first and then select the cylinder. And then it should have the create copy option. I guess because if I only select, like, I can't really select an individual object right here easily. That worked. Great. Glad to hear. All right, so now we're going to do something similar. We're going to copy the two wheels onto the other side. So we're going to use move copy one. The first wheel, the shift key down. So now those two wheels are selected in blue. Create copy. And if we go into a slightly comfortable view, we can use the drag tool to drag our wheels to the other side. And it looks pretty nice. We have our two wheels on the left side and then two wheels on the right side. All right, so we finished building our robot now, so we can kind of take an orbit tour around it, see all the things that we spent our time making. Now, our last step is to be able to share it with our friends. We're gonna export it to STL. So there's an easy way to do that. So if you go into our browser and then right click on the top level object, we can right click here, save as STL. There's some settings here. We're not going to change the settings today, but click OK. It's going to select a place where you can save it. We can call this session 1 robot, and we can just save it to our downloads. There we go. And if I were to open up my downloads, you can see it right here. You can see our robot. So obviously this isn't quite optimized for 3D printing. That's something Armin on his session on Friday is going to go over, how to optimize your CAD design so it's well suited for a 3D printer. But this is just to teach you guys the overview of the tools you have in Fusion. But if you were to just share this with your friends, you could export it to an STL file. And it's right here. All right. So,
Okay, so hello everyone. So now I'm just going to introduce a brand new contest which we are going to launch especially for this year. So everyone, welcome to the ICRS 3D printing design contest. And the aim is to design a ICRS themed keyring. And you can be as creative as you would like on this. You just need a keychain which really brings out ICRS. So there is a much more detailed list of instructions which you can see on the channel, where we're going to like send all the contest details. And we have some really exciting prizes for the top 3 participants. And we are also going to give a surprise gift for the top performing fresher. Yeah, so the deadline for this is November the 4th. And the 3 winners are going to be getting a £5 Amazon voucher. And of course, the top fresher gets something else on top of that. Yeah, so if you want to participate, please scan the QR code here.
And then join the channel, and we'll be posting. Do you have to be a fresher to the uni? Oh, that's right. Yeah, to be eligible for this contest, forgot to mention, you have to be a member of I already. Great opportunity to buy your membership, so you can enjoy everything that ICRS has to offer. So yeah, just you need to be an ICRS member to compete in this.
Okay, wonderful. So finally, here are just some additional resources that we thought you might find really helpful. So here are really good websites for free STL files. So there is Thingiverse and also GrabCAD. So both of these provide some really cool CAD designs which other people have made, and you can download them. And use them if you would like to. And believe me, there are some really cool stuff on there. There is also the Autodesk Design Academy. So as you probably know, Autodesk is a company in charge of Fusion. So they also have plenty of really useful resources on how to use Fusion. Yeah, so here are just some examples.
A bunch of courses in here.
Aside from that, there are also some 3D printing courses from other sites. So for example, Coursera, that's really useful. Also LinkedIn Learning. And if you are a member of ICL, like I highly recommend you use LinkedIn Learning because it's free for all members of Imperial. Yeah, so
there's info here on how to register.
yeah, so you might want to look at that information and then register for it. So there are also plenty of other ICRS organized events. You do have to be a member, so make sure you purchase membership. So for example, we have a Halloween social coming up. And we also have some talks, for example, on design and robotics and also robot vision. So please, yeah, visit the link for more information.
All right, yeah, that's the end of the first session. So thanks so much, all of you, for coming and joining us on this journey. We're gonna open it up to questions. Well, Yuqing and I are gonna be sticking around for like 20-ish more minutes. So yeah, just you can turn on your camera, your microphones if you want to ask questions too.
Yeah, feel free
And
to
yeah,
ask us about
thanks for
anything.
coming. Yeah, thanks so much for coming.